In the quiet of night, dreams often whisper secrets of the past, but for Dr. Emily Collins, they scream. You see, Emily isn't your average archaeologist. Her specialty? Ancient civilizations that time almost forgot. But lately, her nights are anything but restful. Haunted by visions of a mysterious ritual, these dreams are not mere echoes of ancient myths. They are vivid, insistent, and disturbingly detailed. Picture Dr. Collins, a figure of determination, her mind a rich tapestry of historical knowledge. Her recent nights are a cinema of the arcane. Dark skies, ritualistic dances around stone altars, and chants that seem to seep through the very fabric of time. These aren't just dreams. They feel like memories, calling her to a place she's never been to uncover something monumental. The site that beckons her lies remote, shrouded in the kind of mystery that could chill even the most seasoned of spines. It's not marked on any modern map, it's spoken of only in hushed tones by those who dare to whisper about the old legends. Yet for Emily, the pull of these nocturnal visions is irresistible. Each night the details grow clearer, the voices louder, and the urgency more palpable. Compelled by visions that blurred the lines between sleep and sanity, Dr. Collins sets out, determined to unearth the truths buried in time. As dawn breaks over the horizon, Dr. Collins and her team stand at the threshold of the forgotten. The air is crisp, the silence of the early morning punctuated only by the soft rustling of leaves and distant bird calls. They are miles from civilization, surrounded by the dense foliage that guards the secrets of an ancient site, untouched by time. Dr. Emily Collins, with her keen eyes and a relentless spirit, leads the charge. Close behind are Dr. Marcus Green, an expert in deciphering ancient texts, Sarah Michaels, whose expertise in field research is unmatched, and David Rodriguez, the ever-diligent archaeological assistant. Each member carries not just their gear, but a mix of exhilaration and unease. The site itself seems to whisper secrets, the ruins casting long shadows that dance in the morning light. There's a palpable tension as the team stands on the edge of discovery and danger, their hearts beating in unison against the quiet backdrop. With every tool ready and every heart steady, they step into the shadows of history, not knowing what awaits. Beneath layers of earth and time, secrets wait in silence. As Dr. Emily Collins and her team excavate deeper into the remote ruins, an unexpected discovery emerges. A hidden chamber, untouched for millennia. The air thickens with dust and anticipation as they breach the ancient stone doorway. Inside, the chamber is a cavern of wonders and mysteries. The walls are lined with inscriptions and bas-reliefs that echo the haunting images from Dr. Collins's dreams. Each carving, each glyph, seems to pulse with a story just waiting to be told. Among these relics, the team uncovers artifacts that defy immediate explanation. Ceremonial knives with handles carved from unknown materials, pottery adorned with cryptic symbols, and metallic objects that resemble no known tools from the epoch. Dr. Collins, with her keen eye for ancient civilizations, feels a chill as she recognizes motifs that suggest rituals of great power and perhaps great peril. The team sets about deciphering the inscriptions, their excitement mingled with a creeping sense of foreboding. Each translation brings them closer to understanding, yet deepens the mystery. The symbols speak of reverence, but also of fear. A fear of something that demanded tribute. The more artifacts they recover, the heavier the air becomes, charged with an energy that seems almost conscious. As the chamber reveals its ancient contents, the line between discovery and danger begins to blur. What happens when the echoes of the past reach out into the present? As the newly discovered chamber's air, thick with the dust of millennia, fills their lungs, Dr. Emily Collins and her team feel the weight of ancient secrets press upon them. The artifacts and inscriptions suggest a civilization consumed by dark rituals, yet it's the sudden vanishing of Sarah Michaels that chills the spine. One moment she's examining a peculiar relic, the next she's simply gone. The team scours the area, but Sarah is nowhere to be found. In her place, they discover a series of cryptic messages etched into the chamber walls, seemingly fresh despite their ancient script. They read like warnings, or are they invitations? As the days progress, more members fade into the shadows of the ruins. Each disappearance is preceded by an eerie silence, as if the very air is waiting, holding its breath. And then, just as suddenly, the oppressive silence is broken by whispers, echoes of the lost, calling out from the walls themselves. Dr. Collins watches as her team dwindles, paranoia seeping into every crack and crevice of their makeshift camp. They start to avoid the shadows, jump at the slightest sound, their eyes haunted by what they've seen and what they haven't. With each disappearance, the silence grows louder, and the echoes of the forgotten tighten their grip. In the heart of darkness, the most terrifying truths await. As Dr. Emily Collins delved into the ancient inscriptions carved into the walls of the hidden chamber, a chilling story began to unfold. The texts spoke of rituals, dark and dire, where the ancients offered human sacrifices to appease a malevolent deity lurking beneath their feet. Each glyph, each line, drew a picture of despair and dread practiced over centuries. But as the shadows of the past grew clearer, the shadows among the team grew deeper. Paranoia seeped into every conversation, every glance. Trust, once the glue holding the team together, now began to dissolve in the acid of fear. Dr. Marcus Green, Emily's trusted colleague, turned his worry into confrontation. "Emily, you knew this place was cursed," he accused, his voice a mix of anger and betrayal. "You've led us into a nightmare." The air was thick with tension, every word adding weight to an already heavy atmosphere. Accusations flew like arrows, finding their marks, wounding friendships. The site that promised so much scientific triumph now whispered threats of tragedy. As the team fractured, the dark deity seemed to stir, as if the discord was a siren call, awakening it from slumber. The ruins echoed with the power of the ancient rituals, the energy seeming to pulse with a life of its own. The past never dies quietly, and its rituals were only the beginning. To banish the darkness, one must first face it. In the dim light of the ancient chamber, Dr. Emily Collins stands resolute, a mysterious artifact clutched in her hand. This relic, unearthed among the ruins, hums with an eerie power, as if pulsating with the heartbeat of the long-forgotten civilization. Around her, the air thickens, shadows twisting into forms both familiar and terrifying. As the malevolent force manifests, it mirrors the deepest fears of each team member. Dr. Collins watches in horror as spectral figures embody their anxieties and regrets. For Dr. Marcus Green, it's the specter of his unfinished works, papers and books swirling in a silent storm around him. Sarah Michaels faces a ghostly version of herself, accusing her of never taking the leap of faith to lead. David Rodriguez confronts a shadow taunting him with visions of the family he left behind for this perilous journey. But for Dr. Collins, the challenge is profoundly personal. The entity morphs before her eyes into a sinister reflection of herself, whispering doubts about her life's choices and her obsession with the arcane. The air crackles with tension as she battles not just a physical manifestation, but her internal demons, the artifact in her hand glowing brighter with each passing moment. With a defiant scream, Dr. Collins channels her fears, her resolve, and her scholarly passion into the artifact. The chamber shakes as light bursts forth, scattering the shadows. In a clash of wills against the whispers of the ancients, only the bravest souls forge their own light. As the ruins collapse, what is left behind when the dust settles? In the waning moments of their harrowing escape, Dr. Emily Collins and the few who remain sprint from the crumbling site. The ground shakes violently under their feet, a stern reminder of the ferocity of the entity they've just encountered. Behind them, the ancient structure succumbs to its fate, burying the dark secrets it once cradled beneath layers of earth and stone. The air is thick with dust and the scent of ancient ash, each step away from the ruins a heavy one, laden with the weight of survival and loss. Dr. Collins, her face streaked with both sweat and soot, carries more than just the physical remnants of their ordeal. The emotional and psychological toll is evident in her eyes, which flicker with a complex mix of relief and haunting uncertainty. Amidst the echoes of their hurried footsteps, the survivors share silent glances, each one a cocktail of relief, sorrow, and unspoken bonds forged in the darkest of times. Dr. Collins, ever the scholar, clutches the mysterious artifact that helped banish the malevolent force. Its surface is cool and oddly comforting against the warmth of her palm, a stark contrast to the chaos it helped quell. As they distance themselves from the site, the once oppressive air lightens, giving way to the gentle sounds of the world continuing around them. Birds chirp tentatively, as if questioning whether it's safe to resume their songs. Though the ruins lie quiet once more, the echoes of the forgotten continue to haunt Dr. Collins, a constant reminder that some mysteries refuse to be buried.